So like we said before, keys are what are used to define an instance so we can get all the other components of that instance. And there's two keys we're going to be talking about, primary and unique. So a primary key has uniqueness, but it also cannot be null. Unlike the unique key, which is only has uniqueness, it can have nulls. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's take, for example, this relationship here. As you can see, this is employee data, and we have an employee ID, which is a synthetic key that is guaranteed uniqueness, and it cannot be left null. If you're an employee there, you have to have an employee ID. Now, a social security number is also a unique identifier, except we may have some employees that are coming over on a visa, which means that they don't have a social security number. So that would not be a primary key. It could only be a unique key because there are null values. So you may be asking yourself, well, isn't having two null values, doesn't that break uniqueness? And the answer is no, because null does not equal null. So don't get confused by that. So there are a couple different ways of defining the primary key when creating a table. And the first way is shown here, and that's just where you write the keywords primary key right next to the data definition type next to the component that you want to be, or the attribute, I should say, that you want to be the primary key. Keep in mind, you can have more than one attribute necessary to be a primary key. This one only works if you only have one attribute that's the primary key, in this case, employee ID. The other way you can do this is by writing primary key right below all of your list of attributes, and then in parentheses having the attribute that you want to be the primary key in there as a parameter. This is also what you have to do if you have more than one attribute needed for the primary key. In our politicians example, we made the declaration that name and state would be enough to define a politician. Therefore, in our primary key, we would just add name and state. So I didn't do a unique example because I think you guys get the idea. Also, shout out to Sam. I'll link his video down below. I stole his example to explain unique and primary key. Thank you.